embrace yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything, you know. You start with yourself. Self-love is the it's not so easy because there are days when we look at ourselves like, oh my goodness, you know. But I just want embrace yourself. Embrace your uniqueness. That's what I want to remind people. Embrace your uniqueness.
Welcome once again at the Voices podcast. My name is Arafat. Today, I'm very honored. I'm joined by a storyteller. I'm joined by someone who is really good at storytelling and who has helped to inspire quite many people. And she hopes to inspire as many as, Rwandans at large. So she's called Gloria Lwakabamba.
Lwakabamba.
Oh, no, sorry. She's called Gloria Lwakabamba. She's joining us today at the podcast, the Voices podcast, to explore a lot about storytelling and, inspiration and, to do with, you call yourself a motivational speaker, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So
Aspiring motivation speaker.
Aspiring motivational speaker.
Yeah.
So maybe for people who don't know you, I might not have done, the introduction well. Can you really help people understand who is Gloria and which mission are you on right now?
Okay. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me. And so a little bit about me. I'm Rwandan. I was born in Tanzania. And I grew up between Kenya and Nigeria. I went to school there and I also did my studies in the States. I'm the firstborn of 4 from my mom and dad. Most people know my father, so I won't go into that. In terms of how did my background is mainly in development. I started development. So I worked in NGOs. I'm still working in one. And I write proposals. That's my main professional career. How I came about doing this is basically I've always been motivating. My family, friends, ex-colleagues, the different places I've worked, I've always been a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. I view myself as a dreamer. So, and every time I would meet somebody, I found myself always trying to encourage the dream in them, you should do it, even if it's absurd.
You can do it. You keep telling
You can do
them
it. Yeah, you can do it. And, so I used to do that a lot, so, and, but I never did that for myself. So I realized that I put so much energy onto others. Why can't I do that for myself? And I had been doing it over the years, obviously with everyone, they go through ups and downs. So I had depression and all that. So I think all those downs made me realize, and I've always had this dream in me to do something that we all have a purpose, So that's how really, in a nutshell, I'm sure you're going to ask me more questions, is how it's only from last year I decided I'm going to be serious about this and instead of always telling people what to do, because, you can push people so far, but I need to be also an example,
to push yourself.
To push myself. Instead of telling other people to do it, why don't you push myself? You have to start with self. So basically, I said, enough is enough. I am going to do it. I'm going to start with, I basically started with a phone last year, I was on vacation. I didn't go anywhere in my little apartment, and I started recording and posting. It was scary at first, and I just started doing it, and then I've been doing it, trying to grow it. Basically, trying to be in the motivational arena space. I say aspiring because my messages are not. It's not like something new. It's your day to day. It's like I want to be. It's basically also helping me. It's like your day-to-day motivation. It's like, sometimes we wake up and you don't feel like yourself. You just need that inner voice. It's almost like an inner voice telling, you can do it. You've got this. Because we have so many negative spaces around us. Information. There's so much negativity. So that's how I started, is to just put some positive message out there, it's not only helps me, but also helps other.
Sure. So, when is it that you felt like you really had to, support people, help people, inspire people, and this kind of storytelling? When did it first come to you? Is this something you studied? Is this something that you felt like it's really necessary? How did it come?
It started off with my mom. I remember, like, she's the one who taught me, like, she's a I see her as a creative, like learning history, loving music. My love of music and creativity started with her, and then my uncle, her brother. There was a period I lived with my grandparents in Kenya, and then he used to bring us books to read, me and my brother. So that, it's a combination of so many things. It's like a journey of. So that's where it started, I would say, from my mom and my uncle. And then I think life circumstances. I've always been, I feel as if, like, that we all have different roles. I'm a giver, like, in terms of, like, I like making people feel good about themselves, like, and even if you, like, go to work and you say, oh, you're looking good, I love your frames. You pick on one thing that makes people, so that's naturally been in me. Like, there's some people who, it's your love language. So my love language is to make you feel good about yourself, because it makes me feel good about.
Oh, wow.
When I see people, so it's a combination of, like, so combined, because I love storytelling is imagination. That's why I'm tying it to, like, loving reading books, because it opened a world of imagination. So in my head, when I'm trying to motivate you, okay, I love animation and stuff because it makes you dream. It makes you those fantasy stories that, like Games of Thrones or just in the fantastic world, because it makes you dream, to go even beyond, that you're capable of doing it. And they all have messages like you can do it, you can dream. People who are creatives, they dream big. So that's what inspired me. I would say my mom, my uncle. It's just different points that
drew you to that.
Drew me to that. Obviously, I was never consistently in this path. I went the classic route of, like, going to school, studying, doing marketing. I chose marketing, but, like, I wanted to go into advertising. See, again, storytelling, but I never did that. I just went the classic route of, development, policy, just the things that, which is still good, but it's not
like what you wanted to do.
Like, as a passion. As a passion. Like what naturally comes to me.
So someone would say that now you're venturing into your passion.
Yes, yeah. I'm venturing into my passion is but it took me a long time to get to this stage of even figuring out what is it that I want, what is my passion.
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, actually, you bringing me to something very, very serious to me. Some people feel like they are drawn away from their passion just because of the norm of going to school. That you have to go study medicine, you have to go study engineering, you have to go study law, and you find that you grow up wanting to study what some other people want you to study, and not exactly what you feel like you want to do. Because today things are changing. Today you find that someone says, I want to be a footballer, and then the parents, some parents would say, okay.
Yes, it's okay, because we're now in sports.
For now in sports, they can see this money.
Yes.
But there are some parents, you tell, I want to be a singer, and they will say, come on.
That's not the way.
I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm a surgeon. You can't be. You have to go into medicine.
Yeah.
And is it that you didn't pursue your passion because of that trend, or maybe you didn't know that passion can become something to live on?
Actually, I didn't know. I was trying to even figure out, like, even my parents helped me choose my profession. Like, they guided me, because truthfully, I felt lost, right? Even for my undergrad. So, but
now when you say they guided you, now you're sounding different, because others will not be guided; they'll be told too.
Yeah, I know.
Will tell you do this.
They guided me.
That's nice.
Yeah, which is like, they really did guide me, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I loved, like, I remember even from my undergrad, I knew I love history. I knew I love literature. So they were guiding me towards like, so I don't think there's any mistake in life, by the way, because it's through that guidance, because even marketing, and I did a minor in journalism, although I never did anything because I wanted to, as I said, go into the advertising space, which I never end up doing. But it's through the guidance that I was also learning about, like, I learned about myself. Even my mom guided me in, like, the development space because I didn't know about it. But I see there's no mistake in life. For me, I would say for myself, there was no mistake because I needed to go through that path. Even in my development, what I'm doing right now, there's still a bit of sales, marketing, it's just a different way of like, I'm fundraising. That's sales and marketing. So the guidance helped me. I just, it didn't have maybe the creative aspect, but it was, I don't see, for me, personally, it was just part of the path I was supposed to take. Yeah. I don't see it as a mistake. It actually helped me. It's those skills have helped me now. They're helping me now.
So are you trying to say that maybe some people who are not actually now doing their passion or things that really envision to do, some because they don't know, and some maybe they lack that guidance you're talking about?
Yeah.
So it's now what you want to do. You want to make sure that at least you come up with what is needed for someone to be guided to doing their passion.
Yes. And also to remind, it's never too late, by the way. It's never too late. Even if you started out, it's never too late to pivot. Again, going back to the dreamer part of me, it can happen anytime. There's no mistake in life. Yes, you can't change the past. The past is the past. But at least let's try to look at it from a positive angle. It helped me in this aspect. I have these skills. If you look back, if you see your life, it actually all ties together. Those circumstances have made you what you are today. And it will make you what today you're learning will make you go into the future, would shape you into the future. For me, I don't think, yes, it's true. Some people don't have the guidance. Some people do not know. As I said, I didn't know. It's circumstances helped me throughout. I was learning about myself. And also, what also helped me is when I went through because as I said, we all go through the ups and downs. It's human life, yeah? So down for me is like I went through periods of depression. Through those periods of depression, I needed an outlet. So I needed, like in my 20s, I was going through a lot. So I did therapy. And therapy, you tell you about journaling. Journaling is writing. And so I started writing poetry, as an outlet, creative outlet. So that was the beginning. So that's also, it helps you break through and then you discover, I like this. I like doing this. I think it's different circumstances for different people. For me, the best times when I think I discover more about myself is when I was going through depression or when I was laid off from work. I've been laid off from work in the States, here, even pre-COVID, just before COVID. And I discovered myself a lot during that time. I discovered my relationship with God. It's also like, I became more spiritual, amazingly, through those times. And actually, that's where I got close. And and you trust the information you get, the download. Like, okay, this is the path you're supposed to go. So it's those moments, I take it as where I started shaping myself. Actually, what even pushed me to actually start my semi-motivational journey was last year when I told myself enough is enough. I keep doing the same circle and I was feeling depressed. And I'd been writing poetry and I would delete. I'll post it online, I'll delete. During COVID, I had deleted all my social media. So I restarted it last year.
Is it because you're
depressed? Yeah.
Due to?
Due to being laid off, and I was like, I am not in the place where I am right. Like you envision by a certain age I'm supposed to be here, a certain age I'm supposed to be doing this. So all these expectations you put on yourself. So it's during COVID, the most recent one is when I deleted, and then again, I found myself getting again closer to God because when I got to a low point is when I was like, okay, I need a source. That's where, amazingly, is when you as I said, for me, I got closer to God. And so I then rediscover myself, my writing. I won't post it, but I'll be writing a lot. And my love for, what I used to like as a child, animation, or even just the love of, of creation. You find your inner child, and, being creative, being just, I'm not caring about what others will say. But I didn't start then. But it was the beginning again, that depressive period. I got a job, and then I went through again. When you go through depressive periods again, down, I do go up and down a bit. So I actually become more creative when I'm in my depressive state. I had asked a therapist, why is that? He said, actually, there's some people who are, it's the best period where you become, for some, more creative. I produce a lot when I'm depressed, when I'm down. So it's only risk. So last year I was like, enough is enough. I can't keep doing the same cycles. I need to do something else. You see, that comparison, you look at others, and that big thing of comparison, you're like, I'm not forward, you become depressed. And so I started creating, and I was like, enough, I need to do something. I need to change. And also life, you look around and you say, I have this one life. I'm getting older. I need to do something. Just do it. And that's where my message is coming. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Don't wait. So I kept, because I used to tell myself, I'll wait until when I've reached this stage, or have this enough money. I think something switched last year. I said, enough. Just do it.
There's some people who might be really now going through the depression you just talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's take this far from just being laid off, or maybe having any other challenge. There's so many people who are going through challenges. And someone like you has had that, that experience, and you've really walked it, and you know how you can navigate all the challenges and come up with good things, like you're just talking about, that even in bad moments, you're able to do something.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone out there who is now really weak and down and thinks that, life has ended? Perhaps he's going through a lot of things.
Yeah.
What would be something to share to such people right now? Because now you've walked the journey, and you know that actually you can do something out of within that moment.
I would tell them, because I know being in that dark space is, even if someone tells you, it tells you anything, it's kind of hard. But I would tell them to not give up, because they matter. As in, we all matter. We all have a purpose in this life. We do. We were created for a reason. So I would tell them to not give up, that they really matter. And then, because they do not know tomorrow. Tomorrow, an opportunity might just come up. Being in that dark space is really hard. So I would really tell them to not give up.
Or maybe you also came out of the situation without knowing how it happened. Maybe you didn't have
I still have my dark moments.
You didn't have someone else to talk to you about that and say, calm you down, and be there to comfort you and all that.
When you're in that space, sometimes you don't trust people. You don't want to talk to people, because you can talk to your family and friends. They love you, but they may not get you. You feel as if that's where therapy comes in, because as a total stranger. And then the same thing your family and friends might be telling you is the same thing the therapist is telling you, but it's from a total stranger. And you're like, okay. So I understand what it means. I do still get in those moments. But my outlet is creating. That's my therapy, is when I create. It's not just a passion. It's my therapy.
So in your book, Still Becoming, you mentioned that what breaks us can still make us. Can make us. What did you want to mean? Can you share with us a moment where you realized that, and how that really can be applied to everyone's life?
I mean, as I told you, in my 20s, I really was going through, that was the beginning of my depressive space. And I told you in different periods, what breaks us will make us. It's because I have been in those dark periods. It's when you connect with God. for me, every time I'm depressed, I connect with God.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That's when I get pulled out. Like that's for me. Because I've done therapy, and sometimes therapy does not, because it's another human being, and I get mad at the therapist. So yeah. And so it's during, for me, that's my source of it's actually I look back and I create more when I'm in those down, breaks. So my breaking down is the depression, is when got laid off. As I said, I've been laid off several times. You feel alone, you can't talk to anyone. So I felt that was my breaking point. And so that's when, I touch base, like I got close to God, and, I'll be pulled out from that phase. So that is, and then there, every time something good will happen after that for me. Like in the sense, maybe I'll get a job, or I started, I feel as if it was phases. I got more strength from there, in creating stuff, or, getting to the next phase, I, when I would break down, actually that's when not only getting close to God, I start exercising, actually do all the things, the opposite things that like to bring me out of my phase. Yeah, so that's what I mean by remaking, is like you're coming out of a slump and you become a better version of yourself.
So what you're trying to say, that let's say I might be going through such kind of depression and all that, but within my depression is where I get something to make me someone different.
It's somewhat different. You come out, it's like you're going to a shell and you come out. Like you're going to a hole, and like you're going to a dark room and you come out a different person. You go in different, dark, different, like you're like you've been beaten, and like basically.
So if for a good example, it's like for you are in depression, that's when you connect with God.
Yes,
and of course you wanted that.
And like my source, and then that's when I start now figure out what do I need to do to make me feel better. How can I become better? What is it that I am so down about? I start, and then then I start it's transformation. You come out, you start exercising, you start eating better, and I feel as if I'm in that phase right now. Like, again, and this is been the years of me doing that. Ever since I started, like, the podcast, also, like, taking better care of myself, waking up early in the morning to go gymming, and, like being focused and disciplined. So,
You've actually talked about the idea of not waiting to be chosen.
Yeah.
I mean, help me understand this. What do you mean? Like, we should not be there waiting to be chosen? Because I believe, I don't know, maybe the way I understand it is like, let's say you're there, you have your profession, but you're waiting for someone to show you how to work around your profession. Is it what you're trying to mean? Or what did you want to mean in that? I
meant by... It actually stems from personal... Like, I even used the example of me going from job to job. Just like I would, in work, I was waiting to be like promoted, or like to be, chosen for a particular role, or something. It never happened. But I'm actually thankful it never happened, because it forced me to go from job to job to job. Why I started that mindset of like, why am I waiting for people to choose me? Let me look for the higher position for myself, or a better paying job, or because I will give my all to the job, and the past employers, I mean, I felt as if I wasn't valued. So that's why, so it started with the job. Also, with what really made me think about entrepreneurship is when I got depressed, then I quit my job, and then I did therapy in my 20s, and I went to Tanzania. I was born in Tanzania. So I entered in a recruitment company, and they hired me. That recruitment company was owned by an entrepreneur, like he was from Ireland. And so, working there for, because it was sales and marketing, but, of helping people look for jobs, commission-based. Actually, being exposed to that, I was like, why am I waiting to be an entrepreneur? I had a dream of starting my own thing, right? Being the space of communication marketing. I've always been intrigued by communication and marketing space. So it's like, why am I waiting for someone to come to me? Let me just start and try. So I started. I was briefly had a company with a friend. We had a communication company, trying to do documentaries and in that area. It was a good experience, but that was an idea of like, why wait to be chosen? You do it. So it didn't work out. I mean, we did some good things, but it didn't work out. Some entrepreneurship. It's
you start and then
it doesn't
close
work out.
and then go start something else.
Yeah, but that's part of life. You learn. You learn a lot.
You learn along the way.
Yeah, and so I've always that mindset of like from being employed on also doing your own thing. Like, why should you wait for people? But and I always viewed myself in the past, I failed, but not really. That's part of life. You don't. It's not failure. At least you tried.
So you mean there's no failure? There's no failure in life.
I mean, like, at least try not to look at it as a failure, because you go again into that depressive mindset and like negativity. I used to look at it that way, but now I'm thinking it actually shaped me. So I went back to employment. Again, the same thing. I still believe, until to this day, why should I wait for someone to choose me? Go create. Even me doing this, I am not waiting for someone to spot my talent. I am like you've created this podcast. You're not waiting for someone to spot your talent.
No.
You're putting yourself out there because you believe in yourself. Not waiting to be chosen is because you believe in yourself. You believe in the dream and the purpose you've been placed on this earth. You have a purpose to communicate and spread, a message, a certain type of message. That's your purpose. We all have a purpose in this world. Yeah. So
what you're trying to say, let's give an example to someone maybe who is listening or watching out there.
Yeah.
Let's say you employed somewhere in a certain company.
Yeah.
And you're waiting, as you mentioned earlier, that you're waiting to be promoted.
Yes.
Why can't you look for the same job you're looking for into
in another company? Yeah. You see, I will get into trouble for this, but like, why wait?
Do you still stay there and wait for them to promote you?
I mean,
5 years or 6 years after.
Yes, and unless you're comfortable and that's your thing, that's for you. But if you have that inner push, something that
to be somewhere else, that.
Don't wait. Do it. If you can risk it, even if it's a safe risk, do it. Why wait? That's what I meant. Like, why wait to be chosen?
Now, that brings me to the next question. Is that why do many people wait for validation before starting going
fear.
on?
I think it's fear. That fear of the unknown.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. It's like, people like, fear, like, there's something like you can't do it. We have voices in our head.
Yes.
Oh, if you do it, I'll be disappointing my, I don't know, family, friends, society. It's really, I think it boils down to fear. That, validation. We all want to be validated in some way or another. It takes a lot of courage to be standing out on your own. And, there's a risk factor to it. It might not be perceived well. It might be perceived well.
Even depending on how you perform.
Exactly. Exactly. And there'll be people telling you, I told you so. So that's fear, So and also people get too comfortable. We get comfortable in the... We can complain, but we still get comfortable in that, like victim mentality. You're just comfortable. And I can't judge others because I've done that in the past. But what I think circumstances push you. But some people, even if circumstances push them, they still choose to be in the same space. They're uncomfortable, rather complain and not do anything about it. The difference is that you chose and I chose to try.
But I think what can actually move anyone from that motion, from that position, is trying out.
Yes, but not everyone is willing to try out.
Because the fear will always be there.
Yeah.
Because you're scared. People are going to say, I can't afford this. I can't be able to do this. I can't go this way. But try.
I get you.
But now the challenge also comes here that when you try without, putting in much effort as someone who is not even thinking about the fear or people talking about you, you're likely not going to make it because you're going one leg and leaving the other behind.
I get you.
So I think it's what you're trying to say is that you should put all your legs into that. Try it. Once you fail, maybe you can go back. But
how? Okay, so there's, they say in the graveyard, there's so many dreams that were not, that, what is it like? So many dreams, so many, I can't remember the phrase, right? I think for me, what also pushed me is like, do you want to look back in your life and regret that you didn't try?
I like it.
Yeah?
That's
I mean, we hear people, so many young people dying. Just like today here, do you know where you're going to be tomorrow? Do you know where you're going to be in a few hours?
A friend of mine told me that.
Yeah. Death is a reminder also.
Yeah.
But you're not guaranteed you'll be living until...
You're not. What you leave behind is what matters.
Yeah. So...
Because they call it the power of the universe. The power of the universe will judge you because death is the power of the universe. Whatever you do, you're not going with anything.
Yes.
So what you leave behind is what you've done.
Yes. Yeah.
But you as a person,
yeah,
you don't go with anything.
Nothing.
So actually, that's why I'm saying that I like that people should actually go on and try and fail, or because you said also failure is part of the lessons.
It's part of the lessons. There's no human being from the time Adam and Eve. They failed. They tried and failed.
And failed for sure.
I mean, but it's up to you. What's your story? We have one life. What's your story? What's your purpose on this life? Do you want to look back and regret that you didn't try? Oh, I mean, I guess it boils out in the individual and what forces you. What's the fire within you? What makes you get up?
Some people don't have fire.
But that's okay. Let them not have fire because we can't all be the same.
I get it.
And that's another thing. We cannot all be the same. That's why there's an Arafat, you look like that. That's why there's Eric. We all are not supposed to be alike. This message, our message might not all conform to everybody, but it will
at least there's one or two, three people who will say, wow, this is what I wanted.
And that we also need those people who don't have, who give us stability. We need a balance. We can't all be the same, and that's okay. Everybody has a purpose, from the gate man to the house helpers, to the cleaners, to the drivers, to people in even in government. To everybody has a purpose in this life. It's for you to discover what is your purpose and what. I think it boils out in the end. What makes you happy? If you were to look back, like you died and you look back, would you say yourself, I did the purpose God put me on earth for, right? And we should judge each other that we all have...
Would you feel proud that you did something?
Yeah. And also, going back to spirituality. God put you in this earth for a purpose. Now, if you know and he put it in your heart and you already know your purpose and you don't fulfill it, what are you going to tell him? I don't know. I'm just saying. There's a reason. So you didn't fulfill your purpose on earth. But also, we cannot all be the same. We're all very unique. We all have different purposes. You're a communicator. Someone else could be a creator. And I don't know, a sculptor, an architect, or someone else. It's just, we all have different. And we have to, I think we should get away from this thing of trying, everyone should be all the same. We should all think the same. We should all, no.
No way, we can't do that.
The world will be so boring. None of this will be created. Not this. If they even podcast or even anything won't be created. All these billionaires.
If we were doing the same things.
Even billionaires, if even Elon Musk, we may not like him, but he did some creation, right?
Good.
Yeah.
A lot of good things,
Yeah.
There's so many people are benefiting from what he's created.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So if he wasn't himself, none of those things would have been created. So we have to, it's about, basically my message is embracing who you are. And and don't be shy. And if you were meant to, I don't know, do something that's not unconventional from what your family or your people are your friends, your society is doing, do it. As long as you're not doing anything harmful to others. If it's for the good of the society, do it. And that's why you're placed on earth for. And that's why, it's just about your purpose.
Let's speak someone who has the fear we just talked about.
Yeah.
Let's guide this person through starting off. There's some people who might say, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know even where to start from.
Yeah.
let's say this person who's not ready, who feels not ready, how do we guide this person? Which example should we come up with? Let's say, maybe someone wants to be a startup, to have a startup company, or maybe he's an engineer or something else, and feels like, there are so many people who are doing the same things. Why should I also do it? Or
I get you.
So,
Yeah.
and that leaves the person behind, yet maybe he would be the person to do it better than the other one.
I know. Yeah.
And this person is just keeping himself in the darkness of not trying.
So I can relate to that because that was me. It took me, I am 46 right now. So it took me all those years, like I would project onto others, but not project onto myself. I didn't have the confidence. I knew I wanted to create something creative and all that. So I think for me, it was a breaking point, as I told you. I said, enough is enough. And I kept seeing myself going through the same cycle. I'm not bettering myself, comparing, So I just got to a point where it was like, enough is enough. And I think life was reminding me about like, you're getting older. And what is what are you going to leave behind? What are you doing? Are you proud of yourself? So I totally understand that. And I used to have the excuse of capital, of like, I don't.
Those examples.
Things, examples. I think just start small. Start anyhow. Like, let me give it, as I said, I started with my phone. My phone, filming myself.
And you said, no, I have to put
in,
this out.
In the middle of, I had no, this thing about makeup and all that. I was in my gym wear, and I started filming myself from my laptop and my phone. And that was it. So my phone, and I didn't even know what messages I want. I just know I wanted to do like give inspiration out there, and I posted it. And I opened again the platforms, the different platforms. And from there it grew. Even like also I've always been telling people to write. And yet I've always wanted to be like an author, So basically I remember I told you when I was down, I would journal poetry. I would journal poetry, like my depressive state, what I'm going through, and I'll delete it from LinkedIn, and I'll post it back, and I'll delete it. So, but I saved all those, and I decided to compile. And I, started using Canva to put a book. I so it's the first book I did. Like, it's just poetry of different, and I try to design, because that's my outlet. I love like graphic, like, trying to create. As I said, that's my outlet for me. And then, so basically after that, how it became even an ebook is because I tried to reach out to a publisher here. Then the person was telling me, basically, you need an audience. I didn't have any of that. I remember I deleted my platforms and it only had LinkedIn. So I didn't have an audience. So that led me to just, I checked into Amazon. I was like, how can I put this on ebook? So you learn and you just do it. Basically what I'm trying to say, start small, start what's within you, and grow yourself from there.
I like it.
And then after that, how I became like filming professionally is because I was like, oh, wait, so I started using my phone. And then this was last year. By Feb, I wanted a website. I remember there was this guy who had met some years ago, and he had a website company. So I reached out. I was like, how much is it? And then he told me the fee. And I was like, okay, I think I can manage that. You break it down in like the payment. So basically you start small and you grow from there. And you're like, and then I'll use my salary and say, okay, I'll save and I put towards it. Then how I got into filming the podcast professional is because the guy told me he needed professional photos. So I reached out to a friend who gave me a number of a photographer. So I did those professional photos, and then I asked the guy, how much is it to like record like a series of short clips? I was doing like a 2-minute back then. This was in Feb. Of different messages. He was like, it's this amount. I was like, okay, I think I can afford that. Let's plan. And so we planned and we shot. And then he'll give me those and I'll upload. That's basically what I'm trying to say. For those, just start.
Whatever you have
within your, Even if it's your phone, even if it's whatever you have, even if you borrow start.
For as long as you have the idea,
Yeah.
you want to go.
And you have the passion.
The
you know,
passion for
yeah,
that.
like, and you believe. And also, believe in yourself.
I wanted to talk about that.
Believe in yourself.
I mean, I wanted us to talk about what role does believing in yourself, you know, the role it plays in discovering purpose. I mean, what role does it play?
A huge role.
Believing in yourself, and
Major.
how should someone who is not really having that skill, because I think it's somehow
Yeah.
like a skill
Yeah.
to believe in yourself. Say, I can do this. However much people are saying, I can't, but I can do this.
Yeah.
What role does it play?
Even Arafat, I'll even throw this back at you. Like, it's 100 and maybe even more than 100%, because because you have to believe, because you will go through ups and downs and you feel like the world is against
And actually,
you.
no one cares.
And no one cares. And there'll be periods when no one even gives you feedback, or you think you're like, why am I doing this? It goes back
You
to...
post a video, you get only 10 viewers.
Even one. What are you talking about? Oh, 0. I've had those. I'm still having those.
And then you ask yourself,
why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Then believing in yourself, and also believing in yourself goes back to the purpose. Why you're placed here.
That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. They tie
what
together.
Purpose how does it drive you to the purpose? Like believing in yourself and discovering the purpose.
So I think it all ties to each other. Like in the sense, okay, for me, I'll use myself as an example. I believe God placed me on this earth for a purpose. And it's one of those, and so what is it? So that purpose. So that's my driving force. Like, there's a reason why God kept insisting on putting this dream in my head, or this something in your head, and keeps pushing you, I kept going back to this, Huh? So I just got to a period where I was like, enough is enough, let me just do it. So it's what is pushing me in believing, like, because you're tying, like, it ties back to God. You've been put here for a purpose. And if he believes you, why can't you believe in yourself? It's easier said than done. But it's again, you go back, even when you're down, you go back to God, and he'll send a sign or encouragement through somebody else. I have those moments where I was like, even yesterday, I was like, oh, man, I don't even know if I want to shoot this anymore. But I had a friend, I think even day before yesterday, a colleague of mine, she asked me, so you're still going to shoot, you still continue with your social media thing? I was like, I'm not sure. Like, there are moments where you feel stagnant. She's like, no, Gloria, continue. Just continue. And God also uses some people. And the same thing happened yesterday, another friend. It's like, you've come so far from when you started. Continue. And they remind, like, even if it's one person you're making a difference for, just continue.
I like that example.
So that's
too deep for sure.
And so
if it's one person.
Even it's one person.
How many people really have that passion to the extent of just one person?
One person.
It's too deep. I mean, it's hard for someone to say, I'm going to keep working for as long as I'm at least reaching out to one person.
One person. It makes a difference. Like, I remember even my colleague was saying, you never know, you could be saving that person from, I don't know, they're down, they need hope, they need to find an example. One person.
Can choosing yourself sometimes feel lonely, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, like I've gone through a lot of lonely periods, like choosing, like in this journey where I feel as if like it was, because even the way I started, it was left field. No one, like I told no one, I just started. And they started seeing me.
And you know.
And that's, you understand? Like
the bad side of this, you start things alone, and then people keep coming and start coming to tell you, that's not.
Exactly.
They were not there when you started.
No, they don't know how far you've come.
You didn't ask for advice. You did, and then when they see you start, they say, "No, man, you can't do that. Why did you do that?"
Yes. Oh, you need to. Everyone becomes an expert in telling you, like, okay, you need to be. Who's your target audience? You need,
I mean, that question, who's your target audience? the bad energy, the negative energy
Yeah.
keeps coming, and
Yeah.
you need to fight that back. So how do you deal with that loneliness, and how do you really push back that negative energy after you've started your own things?
Yeah.
And this is actually what brings the fear of
Exactly.
continuing.
The consistency of keeping. Oh man, that's a good question, because I like the loneliness because it gives space to create. I actually see it as a positive, because I'm an extroverted, introverted. Yes, it's very lonely, by the way. When you're on this journey, you're on your own, lonely. But I think it's learning how to embrace those lonely moments, because it gives you that space, as I said, to create, to, again, connect to God, and like, okay, what is the next step? What can you do to plan? Like, to have, actually, it's a blessing in disguise, because it gives you space away from other voices, and also sometimes you're on inner negative voices, to go within and now say, okay, what's the next stage? Because it's through those lonely times you actually even come out with bigger products, better products,
So you should learn not to listen to
not
to listen to the negative energy from people after we've just started our own stuff.
Yeah, so now that's another thing. You have to, like, for me, those lonely spaces is for me to get away from those negative spaces, negative voices.
But sometimes it's hard to avoid.
It is hard to avoid. No, it's very, because you still, even if they tell you, you still carry on into your head, right? It's still, to this day, it's still, like, I try to protect myself, but it's still hard. And that's why man, I just, it's different. There's no straight answer, because we have different, like, for me, it's, I don't know. I try to, like, again, you go back to God, you try to pull yourself back in and say, no, there's a reason why you're doing this. You have to go back. I think, it just boils down, to tell the truth, I didn't realize how spiritual I am, but God is the source of everything.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
That's one thing that happened to me that is closer to that.
Yeah.
I remember when I started this podcast 4 months ago.
Yeah.
There's this guy I invited on the show. He's a professor. He's a lecturer. And I thought this guy really had some wisdom. I'm sorry to say. But you know what he told me? He told me, the numbers you have, I don't think you're not ready to invite me.
That is so shallow.
So shallow. Thank you for using that word. I didn't use that. I just wanted to hear what you say. I was like, what? Are you the one? Like, I was shocked. How can someone to the level of a lecturer at the university think that having something to share comes with numbers?
That's very shallow. Yeah.
And then I told him, you know what? I didn't expect you to say that. But if that's the capacity of your thinking, thank you. I'll never ask you. And please, you've made me know who the kind of person you are, because I didn't know you that person.
Yeah.
Like, going back to what you said, even if you're changing life of one person, is very important.
It's very important, and you're making a difference. And also, you do realize,
imagine someone who gets in front of students, more than 100,
oh dear,
teaching, and he is very sure that what he's going to share cannot, if it can't reach the numbers he expects, the numbers he envisions, it's not useless. It's not useful.
That's very ego-based. That person is driven by ego.
I think
That's an ego-based person. No. And he is so used for his ego to be stroked.
And I wanted actually you to raise that word, the ego, because I wanted us to talk about that. How does ego really play around with our life and sometimes blackmails us, and stops us from going where we are supposed to go because of just that thing of feeling like you've reached somewhere, you are at the climax.
Yeah.
There's some people who feel like, I'm just there at the climax, at the apex of all things.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a way that actually stops you from going forward, yet you're
Yes.
nowhere.
Yes. No, it's very important to be self-aware. And that person isn't self-aware. Because being self-aware, that's where you even accept your weaknesses, your strength. How can you become better? You're constantly learning to become a better version of yourself. Now that type of people or person is so ego-based. They're so full of themselves. They probably even say, I am such a humble person. You know you're not. By the time you say you're a humble person, you're not a humble person. You're not humble.
Really?
Humble for me.
Because that's self-aware.
To be yeah.
Maybe that's self-aware.
Yeah.
Maybe that's self-aware.
That you're
know.
humble. No,
Yes.
your humbleness should be shown through your actions.
Not you mentioning again.
No, I don't think I really dislike when people say, I'm humble. I was like, you're not humble at all. You're not. But I think that's like, it's so important. And it's so easy also for us, even if to all of us, I'm sure we've gone through a phase of our ego. We've definitely. But funny enough, life has a way of teaching us.
Definitely.
Of humbling us.
Yeah. The
Once you could be
the
up,
reality comes to you.
you'll come down. That's where people forget. Just because you're up here. Remember, you also can come down very fast.
Of course.
Very fast.
I mean, there's this, I like it, that there's this monk who said that don't push and don't pull.
Yeah.
Like, what you push can return.
Karma.
And what comes
yeah.
can go back.
Yes. So what you put out there.
So what you put out there still will have an impact on
Yes.
you, either positive or negative. So it's like when you go up here, you try to think that you've reached, but there is also the ladder coming down.
Yes. And you slide down so fast.
Yes, the ladder that took you up is the same ladder that you have to use coming down. So I don't see why people should really be, feeling the moment. I think,
I think, like, as I said, that person also, what I've learned, and I remember my sister telling me this, is age does not equate wisdom, by the way. You have experience, but it does not equate wisdom.
You're right.
You could find a young child. Look at Jesus. The Bible, when wasn't he preaching at in the temple when he was young?
Okay.
His mom was looking for him. She found him in the temple. He was like, okay, I don't know, don't misquote me about the Bible, but I remember him preaching when he was young, So that's, age does not equate to wisdom. You can find young people are wiser than older people. Yeah.
And you might think because you own those papers, in those positions, you have the wisdom. Yet, seriously, what you have is actually, I don't know.
No, it's academic. It's the wisdom is, it's academic. It's what we've read. It's not the, how do you call it, the spiritual wisdom. There's another level to it. It's that it could be, it's life experience. What they have is life experience. They were clever in books and all that, great. But in terms of, it boils down, when you die, we go back to our beginning and end. When you die, what impact have you left? What legacy? How do you make people feel? There was a recent, is it last week? I don't know if you've heard or you saw the James Kalenzi. Yeah, he left a legacy. Did you see how many people turned up and the stories about him?
I saw.
He was young, but his life left an impact.
Definitely.
You see?
Absolutely.
And death always reminds us of so many things, lessons. We remember at that moment and we forget, but that should tell you a lot. Oh, I also wanted to mention, you talked about loneliness. Jesus even went to, like, remember, he'll pull himself away from his disciples and be lonely to have that space by himself to pray, away from the negativity and all that. Loneliness is a good thing. Let me tell you, that's the best thing. It's where all this creation is, you become the best version of yourself.
It gives you more options.
Yes, it gives you more options,
To even think about yourself.
To think about yourself, you don't even have to create, even to think about yourself.
Even to create.
Yeah. I bet you your most creative moments is when you're in silence. That's when you have an idea. I should do this next. Yeah.
What's one personal story where you stopped waiting for permissions and, said, I have to move on. I have
This
to.
recently, last year, I was done with myself. I was tired of hearing my voice was saying, "Oh, I haven't accomplished this. I haven't done this." I just said, "Enough is enough. I am going to start." Last year, actually, October, November. That's the one time I told myself, "Enough is enough. Start, create, do, run, take care of yourself, be yourself." It was last year.
And now it's how do you say it? Is it really what you anticipated, or is the negativity still coming up, piling up, and
It's actually
how are you navigating the space of going for it?
It's initially it was exciting because I was creating. I was entering into I was like, oh, finally, what I had always envisioned in my head, right? It's been exciting, but now also because I'm opening up, because it was just me and I almost like it was me creating. I'll have the editor, photographer, but it was just me. But now I'm opening up, even doing this podcast.
Of course.
Is now opening me up to now more voices.
More voices, sure.
More feedback, more, And I have to now learn how to deal with that. It's going to be, because now the more I post, the more people follow me or subscribe, the more comments and feed. Oh, it's been positive. But I'm sure the bigger you get, you'll get. I'm starting to get that. So I'm learning. It's a learning process of trying to pull myself back, where I have that lonely moment, that secluded moment, to remind myself, to pull myself back and touch base with God. Because I feel sometimes when I'm so busy, I lose my connection to Him. So it's now, I think it's circumstances like this that remind me, okay, you know what? Come back. It's come back to the source. And because for me, I feel as if that, it starts with Him, His protection. He sends His angels to protect you, to guide you. Yeah.
I mean, now, I'm wondering, how should people really balance humility and the confidence to choose themselves?
Oh. Oh, yeah, because it can come out arrogant. You're choosing yourself. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And,
yeah.
And then you need to keep choosing yourself. How can really people navigate that? Do you have an idea about that?
I don't know how. Okay.
Because you see, there's humility going on. And you still need to build this confidence, saying, I can. I'm the one. There's no one that can do this better than me. Because that's what we lack mostly. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Creative industry is growing so fast. And people who are creating are those who are just getting out of these numbers, getting out of those who have the fear, getting out of those who say, people are going to say a lot about me. People are going to say I can't afford to do this. So I'm looking at how should we advise someone who is going through the humility, but is saying, you know what, I still need to build this confidence that I'm the one, that I can do this.
I get you. Yo, I wish there was a straight answer, but I would say continue.
You could.
Just there's no straight answer. I would lean more towards continue believing in yourself. And because I mean, I think life will teach you to be humble. It will still, because because you have to, we're still growing ourselves right now, right? So it's still teaching us to be humble, because we can't have everything, you can't be 100% confident in yourself. I do have those moments where you're oh my goodness. It's not, actually for me, I don't think it's humility. It's more like fear. Yeah? I let my fear, So, no, as long as you're still, just, I would say, lean towards believing in yourself. Continue believing in
as
yourself.
long as you're still alive,
Yeah.
and you have the idea, you
Yeah.
have the passion,
And
go for it.
Yeah, go for it. And also, part of it is being self-aware of yourself, and accepting when someone tells you, hey, you're having an ego right now, or surrounding yourself with the right people, who can tell you that.
Who can give you the truth about
Yeah.
yourself? Because maybe what they tell me, some people are biased, some don't like me, some,
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, is it that you can only know yourself from other people?
No, you can also know yourself from yourself. Like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, is there a skill, is there a way that someone really can navigate himself or herself to know that, you know what, you this person, you know this person, you know this person?
I think it's spending time with yourself. That's the truth. People don't like spending time by themselves. That what we call lonely. Like where you think through.
Mm-hmm.
People
Go in the forest and sit down and think about yourself.
Or even in the room, or even taking time. Spending time with yourself. It's through taking time and not being distracted by phones and other things. It's literally taking time and sitting in that uncomfortable, what you don't like about yourself, what you like about yourself, and what you'd like to change about yourself. It's really taking time and sitting by yourself. And sometimes circumstances, if you don't face it, life will make you sit down. And if
time will come.
Time will come, and you have to face your own. It's facing your own demons, basically.
And actually, it's not good.
And accepting your own demons and saying, like, I can change it. Not running away through with other vices.
And it's not the best option to wait for that time.
No, because you might reach a
when that time
point.
comes, it comes in a bad way.
In a bad way. And hope to God that you have time to even analyze yourself. Because we are given circumstances, we are given chances to analyze and sit by ourselves. But most people don't like sitting by themselves. They distract themselves with other things. Saying we're busy, we're busy. But you have to put the time for yourself and figure yourself out. You know yourself better than anyone else.
Very true. Very true.
You wake up with yourself, you're in your own mind. Even if you have like a spouse, children, but you still are you. So you have to know yourself. We always go to others to tell us what, but it's biased. They're projecting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. They're projecting, and they have what they think about us that they don't know about. They don't know us. And actually, the most closest people that we think know us, they don't know us.
No, they don't. Even your own parents don't know you because you're constantly changing, and they're changing. Life hits us, so we react in different ways. So you have to spend time by yourself, and that's when you get to know yourself. It's the hardest thing ever. Like that quietness, and where you have to face your own, as they say, face your own demons. And for you, then the next step is for you to decide what is it that you want to, once you faced it, how can you work to make yourself feel better? Because it starts within, you're feeling within yourself. If you feel better, you project better, positivity out there, it's within. So if you don't feel good about yourself, you project negativity.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So maybe as we wind up our conversation, while you were coming here, I believe you had something that you wanted to share that really was burning into your head, and you were like, I wish this guy asks me about this, or maybe I want people listening to me to hear this. What is it that now you think as one message that you want people to know about you, or you want to tell people out there that perhaps we missed?
I think we touched everything, but I just want to remind people just to be themselves. Embrace yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything, You start with yourself. Self-love is it's not so easy, because there are days when we look at ourselves like, oh my goodness, But I just want, embrace yourself. Embrace your uniqueness. That's what I want to remind people. Embrace your uniqueness. You were made here for a reason. You have a purpose. Go for your dream. Dream. Don't wait until, I don't know, in 10 years, in 2 years, I don't know in how many years. Start now, if you haven't. Try. And fail and try. And just believe in yourself. Love yourself, because you live with yourself every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Gloria, it's been a pleasure really having you here.
Thank you.
You've shared a lot. Myself, I've learned a lot, and
Oh.
I really hope our viewers are going to learn a lot from your conversation. And please, that's the end of our conversation today. We're gonna have her next time for the second episode, and keep waiting as you watch this episode. Bye for now.